Guys, we got our dream property.
60 acres. So, I know you guys are wondering, what are we gonna do out here?
So there's different steps that we gotta like take to get to the actual forever home. And this is kind of what we're thinking right now. Very first thing, we just need to set something up.
Yes.
To get out here.
Yeah, and to be somewhat comfortable while we're here.
Mm-hmm.
Something that gets us out of the elements. It is winter. I seem to always do that. I start something in the winter, and with it being 2 years of being in Oklahoma, my 2-year anniversary, and I started in a tent, we're thinking about doing the canvas tent. Setting that up, it's got the wood-burning stove, it'll keep us out of the elements, and it is tested. It's got experience.
Yeah, and I love that that's where you started.
Yeah.
Or, you got to that point 2 years ago and then back at it.
Yeah, we get to kind of do it again, so I could take what I learned living that way, come out here, have a do-over, but on the forever property. And plus, that's just a story that we can kind of tell, if we have kids one day, stuff like that, to grandkids and all of that. And it's an easy solution to get out here fast.
Yeah.
We're not going to live in the tent. It's something to be in more permanent than a normal pop-up tent or something.
Yeah, something to stay at when we are out here.
Yeah, and it's going to be more like off-grid. It's not going to have power, water, anything like that. It's just going to be very simple and very easy.
So when that's done, we're able to be out here.
Yeah.
While we're working on the next thing.
And what we're thinking about is either a shipping container or a tiny house.
There's pros and cons, obviously, with both.
Yeah.
But that eventually will be where we can live in it. Like,
Yes.
live. So sell the house in town and live in that.
Yeah.
And then that will eventually be like the guest house for our parents or whoever would want to come and stay.
Yeah.
To have like a cool, like comfortable spot that's not in the house or,
Yeah.
there's a little bit of a space.
And even, some of you guys would become friends with, and it would give y'all a space to come out and have and stuff. But that would be a quicker solution to go from the tent to a tiny living situation, whether, it's the container or a tiny house or whatever. Yeah. And then it gets us in on a budget. It gets us out here on a more permanent level. And then, because at that point, it would be
living out here,
selling our other stuff to be out here full time. We're going to build it very comfortably. We are not in a rush to knock it out or anything like that. We want it to be done correctly because, again, it'll be a forever guest house.
Yes.
So we want that. And then the main goal is to have
a barn dominium.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's something I've loved for a long, long time. I never even said anything to you about it. You kind of brought it up as well, and this is the weirdest thing of all of this is you guys probably know her as like a city girl, and then you guys know me as like a city slicker, thinking I'm in the woods, all this stuff. But we both grew up in the country, and we both wanted to have it where our kids grow up in the country as well. And I always thought that was awesome to be able to do that, and so that was just a big goal of mine.
Yeah.
Was to be able to do that, and so the fact that it's becoming reality is crazy.
Right?
It's crazy.
Yeah, making our dreams come true.
That's right. Also, I know a lot of you guys are wondering and hoping and stuff, are we having a baby right now? Are we engaged right now? Are we, y'all had a million guesses on the other video. And
well, it was either baby, married, or land.
Yeah, and if you guessed the land, you clearly got it right. We are trying to do everything in a certain order. That's what we prefer to do. Life always throws you curveballs and stuff like that, but we would absolutely love to be settled out here before, taking the next step and stuff. And, not fully like, we've got the big house and everything like that, but we wanted property before committing to the next step. So now that you guys know what our game plan is, we need to find a spot to put the tent.
Yeah.
So let's go look.
So we are out here trying to find
the right spot to put our first little house structure, and then where to kind of just map everything out. Where should we put some animals? Where should we, just everything.
Yeah.
We're just driving around kind of exploring more than we did last time on foot or in the truck. But for now, let's just go explore.
Let's do this. Guys, this is my favorite tree.
So this is one of the things that kind of sold her on it.
We were looking, there are two different plots of land. We were looking at the other one, walked over to this one, and just the openness, and then this tree, I don't know. I love it. Every time I see it, I don't know what it is about it.
You feel like home?
Yeah, I do.
All right, guys, so one of the things that sold me on this, there's a lot of different things here and there. We both kind of had an idea of what we were looking for, things we didn't even know we liked, like that tree was just something that she really liked. One thing that I was looking for was a creek, some type of water flow, and this property has it going through the middle, so check this out. So this little creek area, it's dried up right here. It's more of this This is definitely more of like rainwater, stuff like that. Yeah. But over on this other spot, it's got this little bridge. There's water over there. We'll show you. But it does kind of come down a little gully area. You can see the side-by-side up there. We have yet to really explore that side over there just because of time and stuff like that. And then even it's just 60 acres. It's a lot. We did walk the whole perimeter and everything, as much as we could whenever we were here, drove the truck, but we
haven't gotten like up in it.
Yeah, deep dive. So that's what we're going to try to do today, kind of check it out, see what we like, what we don't like, and things we don't like, clearly we can fix later and stuff. So as right now, like, this is a really cool area.
Yeah. And two, like I said, we're on the hunt to try and figure out where to put things.
Yeah, and so that's another thing, is clearly we're checking everything out, but it's also for a reason.
Yeah.
So we'll keep looking. So here's another spot that really sold me on it. You guys will see here, there's a bridge, and Danielle's a little scared to cross it.
This bridge, I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of scary to me. So I'll take you out and show you.
Yeah, we'll show you real quick, and then we almost drove the truck over the first time, and then we backed out.
I said, I don't know about that.
Yeah. You can see we got this little bridgeway, and then we got something over there that you guys will see in a minute, but
there is like water running underneath this.
Yeah.
So even during the dry part of the year, whatever, at least we know there is water.
that wasn't that bad.
It really wasn't that bad. There was like some crackling of the sticks that made me a little nervous, but because I thought it was the bridge.
It wasn't bad.
So this, what we're coming up on, I'll let Jason take it away.
So this is another big thing that sold it. You guys are gonna see it first and be like, but I'm telling you, it's actually really good. Check this out. Boom, a freaking shop and a water tank. The water tank isn't any good, it's not gonna hold water, but the shop itself, it looks a little rusty, it looks a little beat up, but we inspected it last time we were out here and it's actually in really, really good shape. We'll show you up close. Oh, it does have a thing so we can lock the doors, that's good. It's busted right here, but we could always put a new thing on. A little rusty up there for some dirt and stuff. But this will be a nice shop area. Oh, it's hitting the bottom down there. But the metal itself is actually in really good shape. There's a couple little dings and stuff, which isn't a big deal, but the actual metal itself, it's not super rusty or anything. Clearly it's an older one, so windows got busted. If it's anything like when I was a kid probably did this, busted it out, but it's actually very, very good shape. I don't even know what size it is. Just right off the bat, just guessing, it's probably 20 by 36 or something like that. It's a decent size, may even be a little bigger than that, but this will be perfect for us to do whatever we want, and at this point our ideas are just going crazy. So let's check out the inside. Ooh, probably be dark in here.
It is dark.
So I'm not 100% sure what this was used for, but the middle part, it's got these metal parts over the top, and it's got big old pipes.
Yeah, there's just big pipes running, so I don't know, maybe they use the water tower.
That's what I'm thinking. Yeah. And then it's got like these pillar things that eventually maybe it could get busted out, but for now it's not that big of a deal. The slab, the rest of the slab's in really good shape. Got a bunch of just metal bars holding over that. Again, no idea what this was used for, but it looked like they had like a pulley system up there at one time.
I mean, but there's so much we can do with this.
Oh, tons of potential.
I mean, tons. Yeah, like you just said earlier, there's so many different ideas.
Yeah, and the fact that it just rained and it's not wet in here. There's no big holes or anything like that. I don't see any holes, no light. There's a few like back over there, but it looks like they were, they had holes for a reason. Yeah. So it's really not a big deal. This is actually a big thing that sold me on this property. Is it's a shop barn. house, whatever we want to do to it, this is already here and it's in great shape. So it was just a huge plus for us to have on here.
Yeah, whenever we first saw it and we walked through it, that's what Jason was like, I am sold.
Yeah.
It was really like, I mean, as soon as seeing the property, we absolutely loved it. But just like once you saw this, you're like, yes.
Yes, and it has a water tank connected to it that we can use. Check this out. So as you walk out the other side of the shop building here, and also it's got 2 doors on each side, and then again it's got the water tank. I'm gonna need to get my chainsaw chained back on there so I can start clearing this out, but I'll try to bring you a little closer. It looks like they were turning it into like a little barn or something.
Yeah, it's something.
Yeah, so let's go.
That's where Matt can sleep whenever he comes.
Ooh. All right, so coming through here, you guys can see where the pipes came out and ran into the building, but they also took a section off and then put a gate, and I think they used it for like a barn. So it's got just a dirt floor in here, but as you can tell, it's in pretty decent shape until that hole over there, but that is for to get in and out of the water tank anyways when it was full. But it's got the ball up there, so when it was full of water, it's got the ladder. It's just mainly the bottom of it isn't in good shape. So I don't know exactly what we'll utilize this for. The roof of it's actually in better shape than I remembered. For some reason, I was talking to my dad about it, and he's like, you should turn that to like a tiny house. And I was like, the roof's not good. It's actually in a really good shape. It's more of the sides. Yeah. And as you can tell behind us, it's got some holes. And then on this side, it's got some holes, and if you have ever lived in the country and you were younger, you know exactly what those are from.
Yes.
So every kid does that, and then I guess that's like a little door over here. I don't know if you guys can really tell very well, but honestly, I don't see a point in taking this down. We'll probably just utilize it more for like a barn type situation. It's an easy structure. It's already here, and at least for now, it'd be a good temporary shelter for the animals.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty pumped with this. One thing I don't like that's over here is right on the outside. This is something we're going to get rid of. We got these old water tanks here that are eroded and no good.
Yeah, and I don't even know how we would go about getting rid of them, or a way to even like make it look cool.
Yeah, realistically, I think we're probably going to cut the bottoms and then dig a hole and bury them. I don't know what else we're going to do. I mean, they are pretty rusted out, pretty beat up. There's 2 of them, and it looked like they just filled them with rock and stuff. So it's really not that big of a deal. It's not something we have to get rid of right away, but it's definitely a safety issue if we had animals in here, or even someone else come out and stuff. So we'll probably end up getting rid of that at some point. Once we get like a tractor or something big we can kind of move them with. But there's so much more to explore. Literally, you guys have seen just a little bit so far. So I guess we'll keep exploring a little bit more, maybe show them some open spots, and then we're really trying to figure out what to do as far as housing at the very beginning.
Right.
Guys, this is gonna be down here in the little creek area. Check it out. There might be a little bit of water, but maybe not. We're not 100% sure. Yeah, not a lot, but it is a little bit, which is good for animals.
Yeah, and there's so many animal tracks out here too.
I think all the animal tracks is another thing that sold us. Clearly there's gonna be animals everywhere, but there's just one little spot, if the rain didn't kind of wash them out or whatever. I mean, everything. It looked like bobcat, coyote, raccoon, deer.
There's so many deer.
Yeah, there are a ton. So that was like a huge thing. So yeah, I mean, we'll show you guys that here in a minute, but I mean, when you got like a little creek, again, it's not something we're gonna like come and try to get water and drink and bathe and stuff like that. It's more of just animals. And that's the awesome part.
So cool. What's the bet that I fall?
I hope you don't, but I'll put money on it. Oh, she's gonna take a...
You gotta do a little.
Yeah. You got this.
I'm like the least graceful person. Oh!
Just like a kid, you went back and then you walked up to it and then... Oh dang, that's like a whole nother little
Yeah.
section of the creek over here.
That would be cool if it always had water in it.
Yeah. So one of the things too that before even coming out here, kind of had an idea of what we wanted. She definitely likes more open. I like a lot of woods. It's 2 sections that we bought. One is more open, you'll see that in a little bit, but this was the wooded side that I just fell in love with instantly. I mean, instantly. So to be able to have both, this is awesome. To have that down there is awesome. This, we've had the side-by-side for a while. We used to go to these races and go out there and do stuff. So literally,
Okay.
so literally shoot dang TV can be going on here on our own property, and that makes me feel so good.
Before you would have to drive like
real far and then do all that, and now it's just have it here, do stuff. So maybe shoot dang TV might be coming back. So we're out here at the back corner, and we got the marking there. This whole place was surveyed and stuff. You guys could tell it's decent fencing. It's, you know, good pipe corners and everything. The barbed wire going all the way. It's good enough for cattle. It's not good enough to keep the dogs in, goats, stuff like that. But we'll eventually work on stuff like that. But for now, I mean, it definitely kind of gives us, you know, an idea where we're at. Right here, it's a little bit of a hill, so you can't see much. But once we pull a little bit further over there, we'll show you. And then there's a little creek spot where I got stuck in the truck the first time, all of that. So I guess we'll kind of work away that way. And then over there is where all the animal tracks were that we saw, which I'm excited to show you guys. So I guess we'll head that way.
Yeah.
Is this a special spot?
This is a special spot. We spent a really long time here.
We did. So as you guys could tell, there's some marks here where the truck got stuck.
Came down and the hitch caught like bottom out right there, and it was, I mean, it was in there.
We were stuck.
Yeah, I thought we were gonna have to call Matt Payne to drive out here.
She's being dead serious. I was like, I don't know what we're gonna do. She's like, you might need to call Matt Payne. Yeah. But so this is the middle part over here. There's fencing right there, and literally this creek runs through the middle all the way back to where the shop is, where we showed you earlier. I know it's kind of difficult. Hopefully we'll get some good drone shots and kind of make it a little more clear of where this is all set up and how it's set up.
Yeah. I mean, even walking it, I'm very like turned around. I'm like, where are we? Yeah.
Where are you? But yeah, this is clearly dried up right here, but it does go through the whole thing. Way back, way past ours, there's a pretty big river. It's pretty big, and so I'm sure when it floods, water comes through here and stuff at some point. But again, you get this fencing back here, and it's just, I think, 4 strands of barbed wire all the way down again that way. So our whole back is completely fenced. The whole front's fenced. The sides aren't. This used to be a huge ranch that they split up. So we're gonna have to probably, we're gonna have to figure out the boundaries, and then try to figure out ourselves. If we can't, we might have to get a survey and stake it out.
And then also somehow fence it.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
It is. It's over 2,600 feet on the side, so it's a good amount of fencing, and eventually, not all at the beginning, but eventually we want the whole thing fenced. That way the dogs can roam with to worry about it. Goats, anything like that, can just kind of roam and do whatever they need to do. But this is like a whole section, and then once you come out over here, there's an area that we might be able to do a pond. It looks like there was already kind of a pond. There's animal tracks. It's open. We'll show you that. Yeah, we'll show you that. This is what sold her.
Yeah, what we're about to come up on.
Yeah, this is the big thing that sold her. More open area out here, and again, we're going to be pulling up on the back corner, our other corner. You'll be able to tell a little better. So back here is the fence line. You guys can hopefully tell and see the fence line all the way down, but the property corner actually is back there. I don't know why it's fenced off this way. I think the only reason I think it was like this because it was just one big ranch at one point, and they kind of just split it up. But from back there, it's gonna just shoot all the way that way. Again, it's kind of hard to see. Once we get up a little bit over there, you'll be able to see what sold her. But the tracks and stuff that you can see is right over here. The pond's over here. So we'll drive over there real quick and then show you that. And then it's the view. This is the view that sold the whole thing.
Yes.
Where are you going?
I'm gonna show them the special thing that I found.
Ooh.
It's a heart-shaped rock. Ooh. That's how I knew this is our forever place.
Ooh.
Thank you. One thing that was like always super important for me to have on forever property was a pond. That's every place we looked at, like, does it have a pond, does it have a pond? So I don't know if you can really even tell, but it looks like that this could be one.
So it was either a pond at one point and it kind of just washed out, or it's just kind of run off from like a huge flood or something at one point. There's really no telling, but it already is pretty dug out, and then it's got like a good berm around this whole side. The only spot is right over here that if you dug out, you can kind of berm it up, and it'd be pretty good. And I'm assuming there might have been some water in here not too long ago because there's tracks down in here. There's deer track and stuff. So I definitely think it would probably hold water. If not, we could definitely dig it out until it would, stuff like that. This is definitely a good potential spot for a pond. Tracks right here. Looks like raccoon. Got deer for sure right there. And this right here, hopefully you guys could tell, looks like maybe some type of cat or like coyote print right here. It's hard to tell. This spot right here is where it's at. So the beginning of the property is over there in all the woods, and then it goes way over there. There's a bunch, all the woods over there, all that, but all of this is wide open, and this is what sold her.
Yeah, as soon as we came up through the other side, the wooded side, and I just saw this, and I was like, immediately.
Yeah.
It just felt like exactly, and it looks exactly like how I've always pictured.
Yeah, and this is probably, you guys, probably real hard for y'all to tell, but the tree line way back there is into the property. This open area is probably at least like 20 acres out of the 60. So there is a huge open area, and then we're surrounded by trees on the other side. So eventually, like, our forever home might be right out there.
Especially because, so the sun comes and sets down this way.
So that would be our sunset on our back porch looking out.
I mean,
drinking a nice cold one in a hot tub. Woo!
Perfect.
Be perfect. So this is a huge thing that sold it, and I do like that it's not perfectly flat. Clearly, if we're gonna put a house out there, we'll level out some spots and stuff, but this is really awesome. And then it's open, but then you get that big old tree, the oak tree over there by itself that Shirley liked. And then I know some of you guys are asking, there is power lines that go through part of it. So there is power already out here, and then there's a section further by the road that's got power and stuff. But I mean, it's just like endless. You just keep going and going, and it's, I know there's a lot more people out there that have more land than 60 acres, but coming from living more in the city-ish, if you want to call it that, the suburbs, and then out where I was at, I have 15 acres, but it feels like I have like half an acre.
The only usable part
is right on top.
Exactly.
Yeah, so whenever we came out here and we saw this, we were just like, both of us were like, this is the dream. Like, this is it.
It is a dream.
Yeah, and we were originally only going to try to get 30, and it worked out where we were able to get 60, and it just, everything, like we said, was kind of funneling down to one spot, and it just worked out, and that's what we were talking about, was everything just came and lined up perfect, and we literally got our dream property.
Yeah. Crazy.
So this is another spot that's really cool. As you guys saw, the open area was way over there. This is more towards the entrance. You kind of come around here. Over here, there's power lines. It's got this little open section here. The creek runs down in there. The shop's over there. I know this is a lot, but it's got all this section over here that's all rock in there. And then this pathway will kind of lead out towards the front of the property. So to be able to come out here, and then it kind of opens up a little bit, and this was all rock, so it's a really good spot to build something there, and then it will come and open up to here, go around, shops through there, creeks through there. This is kind of a middle point.
So what we're doing right now is we are trying to find a spot to set up the first home base, just to be able to be out here. It is kind of hard to find a spot since it is 60 acres. Just trying to map everything out on our head. But we threw up the drone and we saw this little area that we think it might be good. Jason's gonna be back here clearing out the area. So let's see. Guys, this is like nothing but thorns throughout here.
Insane amount.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to get a big brush hog at some point.
Yeah, and like big thorns. So my baby's clearing the land.
We're gonna kind of come in, and you're gonna go about halfway, and then you're gonna come out, and then you're gonna go like at an angle halfway, and then we'll cut it right here, and it'll fall that way.
Cut down my first tree.
So I'm gonna take this out, clear it, and then should be able to get the side-by-side in. Looks pretty good out here. Woo! That's a pretty good little spot, huh?
Yeah, this is really good.
Nice little opening over here. The shop's right back there. This might be a good little spot to call camp.
Yeah. I think this is perfect.
Yeah, so guys, the shop's literally right through there, and then the creek is running through here. Actually, the shop's right there. You can probably see it. The creek's running through. The little roadway is over there. I mean, this is a nice little section here that's open.
Yeah.
The good thing about this is, so what we're gonna set up in this spot, if this is what we truly decide, it's going to be more of a temporary type situation to get us out here, get us a little structure. And so the fact would be is it's going to be hidden. It's not going to be out in the middle of everything. We don't really need power. We don't need water. So this would kind of be a spot that we would do the canvas tent. You guys know that's pretty much how I started at the other property. Already got it. It's an 8x10. It's big enough. Got a wood burning stove. It would just be ideal to have here. And then, yeah, again, it's out of the way. It's not a big deal. And then if we need to get supplies in, it's very simple. It's right off an opening. And then later, depending on how this is all set up, if we decide to keep it here, the shop's just right there, and then we could build like a little, maybe a bridge across the creek, something, who knows. We are open to anything, but this kind of does keep it out of the way, so when you're out here, you don't really have to see it unless you want to see it.
Yeah.
All right, guys, so I think we found home base.
I think we did.
Yeah, this is pretty exciting. This is literally the start of the rest of our lives.
Yeah, from the ground up.
From the ground up, and that's something that we want to show you guys, is literally from the ground up again.
Yeah.
If you want something bad enough, you can make it happen, and we're going to show you guys that literally starting from nothing. You guys saw this. There's nothing. So
let's do this.
Let's do this.